home. Last time we have completed one lesson. Today also we are going to take one important lesson. Okay, so please just open your content book volume 2. Okay, already we have completed volume 1 all the lessons. Now just open volume 2 page number 2. Okay, we are starting one very important lesson, which is block 11, the story of Louis Braille, which has been written by Philip Shapiro. Okay, today we are taking lesson plan number 1. Okay, as you know, Braille means what? Okay, the Braille has changed life of the blind people. We read simple books because we have good eyesight, but those who are having weak eyesight, or those who don't have eyesight at all, or they are completely blind, for them this braille is something like a boon. So today we are going to understand what is braille and how it was started, invented, and by whom. So just see the story of Louis Braille. This is one of the very good lesson. So watch this video and listen it carefully. This is a biography of the Louis Braille. Okay, one who invented this particular Braille form. Okay, or the Braille font. So let's start the lesson. The story of Louis Braille. This lesson has been written by Philip Shapiro. So there was a time not long ago when people believed that blind people would never read or write. They thought that the only way to read or write was to look at words with our eyes. We know that when we can open our eyes, that time only we can see things. So how the blind people they are going to see the words, the books? Okay, so such was the thinking long ago. But this thinking changed, this perspective changed by a French boy. He's named Louis Braille. Okay, the story of Louis Braille begins in a small village near Paris in 1809. His father made harnesses and other leather goods for a living. Harness means, so these are the things which use for the animals like horses and all that. Okay, and other leather goods for living. He often used sharp tools to cut and punch holes in the leather, and he used to use sharp tools to cut and punch holes in the leather. One of the tools he used to make holes was a sharp awl, a tool that looks like a short pointed stick with a round wooden handle. Okay, so he had one short pointed stick with a round wooden handle. While playing with one of his father's owls, Louis' hand slipped and he accidentally poked one of his eyes. At first, the injury didn't seem serious, but soon the wound became infected and spread to both the eyes. Okay, so he lost his eyes accidentally. By 1813, at the age of 4, he had lost sight in both his eyes. Unfortunately, he lost eyesight of both his eyes. Although he was blind, Louis was both intelligent and innovating. Innovating means having new ideas or using new ways of doing things. So he was very innovative, intelligent, very clever. Owing to his extraordinary learning abilities, he was sent to school where he learned by listening to his teachers. So he went to a school where he used to listen to his teachers carefully. Despite this, he did well and did not let his disability slow him down, though his eyesight was no more. Okay, he was completely blind. Still, he was doing very well. It's because of his powerful listening ability and his intelligence. Thereafter, he was sent to the National Institute for Blind Children in Paris in 1819. Okay, so that institute was specially for blind children. So he went there in Paris in 1819. There, Louis found books for the blind to read. The 10-year-old Louis learned to read using raised wooden letters. So, the 10-year-old Louis, he learned to read. There were raised wooden letters. Since the letters were made of wood and big in size, the books themselves were large and bulky. But there was a problem with these letters. They were made up of wood and they were in big in size, and that's why it was not easy to carry such a large and bulky books. The school had 14 such books, and the school had only 14 such books. And Louis set about reading all of them. And Louis started reading all of them. He could feel each letter, but it took him a long time to read a sentence. It took a few seconds to reach each word, and by the time he reached the end of a sentence, he had almost forgotten what the beginning of the sentence was about. Louis felt that there should be a way for a blind person to read as quickly and easily as a sighted person. So Louis was not happy with those books. He decided to change, he decided to do something by which the blind people also can easily read, okay, the text. Then one day in 1821, a former captain, Charles Babier, from the French army visited the school. Through him, the 12-year-old Louis was introduced to a secret letter code that enabled the soldiers to read without sound or light. So in 1821, he met a former captain, Charles Babier, okay, from the French army. He visited the school. Through him, the 12-year-old Louis was introduced to a secret letter code. And because of him, he came to know about the secret letter code that was meant for the soldiers to read it without sound or light. Messages from army officers could not be written on paper because the soldiers would have to light a match to read them, and this would give them away to the enemy. Barbier's letter code used raised dots and dashes to represent sounds. Okay, so Barbier's letter code was simple, like raised dots and dashes were there to represent sounds. So one can easily understand sound as well. Soldiers read the messages by running their fingers over them. Louis realized that this letter code was more easily readable and would make it possible to write without sight. However, the army code was still a bit cumbersome. Cumbersome means slow and complicated. The dashes took up a lot of space on page. Each page could hold only one or two sentences. Louis knew that he could improve this code in some way. And Louis had started thinking over it, that how I can change, how I can bring improvement to the same. You can see here, these are the dots. One dot is meant for A, like this, B, and this is C, how this is D. Okay, so this is Braille alphabet, like we have simple alphabet ABCD. For the blind people, this is the Braille alphabet. He spent all his time working on ways to improve Barbier's code, that is used the system of dots and dashes. He liked the idea and raised the dots, but thought he could do without the raised dashes. As he sat in his father's workshop, he picked up one of his father's owls to make raised dots. The very tool that had disabled him now enabled him. The same tool because of which he had lost his eyesight. With the help of the same tool, he was searching a new way to look at the things or to see without eyes also. Finally, he managed to narrow down an alphabet for the blind made up of entirely of six dots. Okay, only six dots were there, and like that, they can easily read it by touching every dot or combination of dot. By 1824, Louis had developed a system of identical cells that had a unique pattern, each with six raised dots. He made 64 combinations using this system of six raised dots in a cell and sequenced the patterns in a systematic way that made learning possible. Systematic means what? Done according to an efficient method or plan. Okay, that is systematic. He made 64 combinations using this system of six raised dots. Okay, he published his first book in Braille when he was only 15. When he was 15, at that time, he published his own book in Braille. Music was an important part of Louis' life. It was so important that when he published the Braille alphabet in 1829, it was called Method of Writing Words, Music and Plain Song by Means and Dots. He described the Braille alphabet as one that could be understood by both the blind and the non-blind. However, the book did not draw much attention. But since this was something new, it didn't draw much attention. Means many people, means less number of people read it. Louis became a teacher at his own institute for blind children and used the Braille system to help his students. Later, when some of his students became teachers and started teaching elsewhere, the Braille system spread. It was also demonstrated. Demonstrate means explain or to show clearly with examples or modeling at music concerts and exhibitions by the blind. Braille spread worldwide in 1868 after his death in 1852. Louis also collaborated means worked with someone else on a project with another very talented blind person, Pierre Foucault, to devise a mechanical typewriter that marked Braille's raised dots on paper. So another person, he was also talented, Pierre Foucault. He decided to make a mechanical typewriter so that Braille can be easily type on paper the raised dots. This machine made it easy for the blind to write. He conquered his disability and dedicated himself to finding a means of helping himself and other blind people to read, write, and become independent. The Braille system has inspired and helped millions of people across the world to communicate. Communicate means exchange ideas or feelings or information with someone is known as communicate. Their brilliant thoughts and ideas, including famous people like Helen Keller. So this is the lesson about Louis Braille. He changed the way people used to see or used to look at the blind people. Okay, so all the credit goes to Louis Braille. He made blind people's life very easy. He made it possible to take education, higher education is because of the available braille books, okay, or books available in a braille font. Okay, so here student you have to complete homework block 11, content book page number 8, 9. All questions you have to complete. In case of any doubt, query, please let me know. So thank you so much for watching this video so patiently. Next time we are going to complete other remaining activities based on this lesson in lesson plan number 2. So thank you so much. Have a great day to all of you. Thanks.